Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
I played Clan. Well, you were there. You played it. It was you who I played it with. I taught you Clans of Caledonia,
Yes.
and we made
And the
our
student became the master
yes,
in a mere hour.
and you won. I was playing that game solo. It's an excellent solo game. If you haven't heard of Clans of Caledonia, it is a super Euro game where you're just making things. You're putting out sheep and cows and turning them into wool and cheese. It was reminiscent for me of viticulture. It was heavier than Concordia, but it floated around viticulture. The one thing I did not like about it was that there was a lot of icons, various icons that when you're learning the game, it was a little bit difficult to understand. And it seemed like there were bonus tiles for like shipping, like you go to this tile, and if you get to this tile and can connect with it, the various icons on the actual bonuses, I had to look them up. Same thing with the clans. The clans had all special powers, and I had to look them up, and it was confusing. And every time I played with a different one, it felt like it broke the game too much, which, of course, there's a variant where you just don't play with the clans. And then it's not Clans of Caledonia, it's just Caledonia.
So we've discovered we don't really like asymmetrical games.
No.
Because it just doesn't seem fair.
And we're all about fairness here.
And we are fair and unbiased in our
Equal.
gameplay.
Equals. We're both equals here.
So Terraforming Mars, we play it just starting off with the basic stuff.
Generic.
What was the other thing? Anachrony.
Generic.
It's better generic. Because it just seems like one person, I mean, it is designed to be where you don't all have the same stuff. So somebody's going to have an advantage, it feels like, always.
I wonder, I'd like to actually find out how designers ensure that by making a game asymmetrical that they don't unbalance it. Because you cannot convince me that every single alien race in TI4 and every single alien race in Eclipse.
Cosmic.
Well, Cosmic's meant to be unbalanced. That's the fun of it. But in a game that's supposed to be a Euro game and everything's supposed to be equal and you'll be able to determine the winner by your skill, it just seems like it breaks the game. Needless to say, Clans of Caledonia, we really enjoyed it. I'm still going to say that I like viticulture. Viticulture. I'm still going to say that I like viticulture better.
Viticulture.
Viticulture?
Yeah.
That's our new line of...
Do you say vitamins?
It's not viticulture. I'm pretty sure viticulture is like a healthy line of wine. Drink this Merlot. It's got vitamin C in it.
It depends on what country you're from.
No.
English people say vitamins.
They do?
Yeah.
Vitamins?
Vitamins.
Have you taken your morning vitamins? No wonder they can't get their kids to eat their Flintstone vitamins.
So, this is my question to you.
Answer it.
As your dominator.
We're going to have to cut all that.
As my clan dominated your clan,
Okay.
even though it really didn't even though my clan never saw your clan,
Well,
I didn't know you existed.
you're on the other side of the lock.
I was over there just planting hay and drinking whiskey and making cheese, and I didn't even know your clan existed. But yet, my clan defeated your clan. But that's neither here nor there, because my whole point is, you taught me the game, and it was pretty easy for me to learn. Which that's saying something, because I don't always pick up on stuff real fast. But despite all the iconology, once I kind of got the idea, we were going. I'd say you taught me in 10 minutes. However, this is my thing. You played that game several times, and me not knowing really what I was doing beat you.
Right.
How? Why? Why is that?
I feel that and I'm glad you brought that up. I feel that there were certain bonuses in the game that you took advantage on, and the end scoring of Clans of Caledonia has this weird metric. I'll say it's weird. As you are importing goods into the country, which there are 3 main goods on this track that you keep close of. Every export contract you make, you may get a bonus of importing these certain goods. At the end of the game, the good that was imported the most is worth the least, and the one that was imported the least is worth the most. And so if I import good A into the country, and there's 10 units of that into the country, and I've imported 10 of them, 10 times 10 is 100.
You've lost me.
It's math. It's just all math. Anyways, you basically beat me by that metric. You had enough of those goods imported, and I was not really paying attention of that.
Yeah.
You imported the most of the rarest of goods.
The most
I have
of the
confused
least.
everybody so far by saying this. I have no clue where I'm going. I will say this: Clans of
Well,
Caledonia.
it's basically it's a supply and demand track.
I like that supply and demand track. The market.
So if you but I'm saying even on that scoring thing, because if you import a bunch of stuff, well, I mean, there's a bunch of it, so the demand is low, so it's not worth as much. Whereas this is confusing. To try and describe this is very difficult.
Here it is. Clans of
As
Caledonia.
good as I am at describing games, I'm having difficulty with this one.
Right.
Let's talk about Skull.
No. All right. Clans of Caledonia. Excellent Euro game.
BGS approved.
Yes. Probably one of the best Euro games put out in a long time. It is not better than the Viticulture Essential Edition.
No.
I would honestly recommend that over Clans of Caledonia. I certainly would recommend Concordia is a little bit lighter, so they're harder to compare. But I like Concordia slightly better than...
Well, I gotta give it to Clans on this one.
Okay.
I gotta give it to Caledonia. And since we don't use the Clans, we'll just say Caledonia.
Where is Caledonia?
It's near Concordia and Catan. It's in between Concordia and Catan.
And Viticulture? Viticulture?
It's beside the village near Concordia, but west of Catan.
I'll take that.
You gotta know where that's at.
So, all right. So,
Just north of the Archipelago Islands.
as a side note, Caledonia,
Side note?
a good solo game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I enjoyed it better. I actually enjoyed it better solo than I did with other people.
Sometimes I notice I interrupt you simply to agree with you and reinforce what you are already in the process of saying.
Well, that just acts me on.
Yeah, Jared,
It
you're
just
right.
acts me
Get
on.
it, Jared. Yeah, that's so true.
I'd like to think that if I'm ever in a fist fight, you'll be behind me going, get him.
Get Jared. Get him. Get him.
Oh, yeah. You can...
Well, yeah, because that's what I said. Even as we were playing, I was like, I like the game.
I'm filming it on your iPhone 8.
I like the game, but it's a solo game. Even when we're playing together, I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing, and our clans never met up. We weren't. There's a neighboring thing that comes into play.
We
that
never crossed the
came into
lock.
play.
That's
Yeah.
what they call rivers over there are locks.
And any more than 2-player, it could be a very long game.
And I had my lock down.
Lockdown. Good one.
All right. So, Clans of Caledonia, it's not out yet. This was the Kickstarter version. But if you're a Euro fan, you should definitely get it. If you're a solo player and you're looking for a Euro
If
game,
you're a fan of Europe, get it.
get it. But get Viticulture first.
Viticulture is just streamlined. But yet Viticulture is just the bomb.
It's smooth,
It's smooth like wine.
like vitamins.
Smooth like vitamins.
All right. This is called a segue. I was trying to think of a way to segue into the next.
Stop. Don't do segue talk.
Okay.
Just go into it. Just say, next up.
I was thinking the other day about.
Here we go. Your segues are all so pronounced.
No.
You changed the timbre of your voice and everything.
Timber. I sound exactly the same no matter what.
Whatever.
I was thinking the other day of my future, which made me to question and think to myself, what is my destiny?
Oh my God.
And then I got to thinking about the new Star Wars movie. And then I remembered Star Wars Destiny. We have spent probably a grand total of about $3,000
Don't tell my wife.
on
She doesn't
Destiny
know.
cards.
But I only spend it $2.99 at a time.
Right. So it's not that bad. Just every day you go meet your dealer on the street. Hey, give me some of the booster bags.
Give me some of that.
Give me some of
Yeah,
that.
what you got?
And
You got any Han Solo in there?
But it feels so good when you find that Admiral Thrawn.
Oh, it feels so
You
good.
can hawk it to other addicts.
I have an Admiral Thrawn, and I really don't. Have you? I don't. You said it was valuable.
It is valuable. You should sell it.
Okay. If anybody wants Admiral Thrawn, contact me at I don't even know my name.
It's
Don't we have an email? Have we ever said our email or anything on
it's
here?
boardgamesnobs@gmail.com. That's where people send us
But
hate
Bubba gave us like individual emails at boardgamesnobs.com.
Well, you know what, Bubba? As you have probably learned about him, he does a lot of technical stuff that I don't understand.
Okay. Well, just contact us at boardgamesnobs.com.
At Gmail.
At Gmail. Or boardgamesnobs
At Gmail.
on Twitter.
Or the Facebook.
Or the Facebook. That never gives you away as old.
I'm not
Or
old.
the Instagram.
The IG, as the kids call it.
The IG.
All right, Star Wars Destiny. I've never played Magic, and I don't really get into collectible card games. But Star Wars Destiny, I've come to find that I really enjoy it, and I shouldn't enjoy it that much. I don't know what to say about it. I'm obsessed with it.
It's okay. So
It's so boring.
So, like every other, I guess, collectible, even though this is the first collectible we've got into, but I've heard it said that part of the joy is simply opening the package
It is.
and saying, "What did I get?" And when you realize it's a stick as an upgrade, you kind of get sad. But then, every now and then, you get that Admiral Thrawn, and then you sell it.
And you recoup about 2% of the money that you spent on it, and you take that money and you go right back and buying booster packs and end
Yeah.
up getting about a third of the cards that you already have.
Yeah.
But every once in a while you get something good, and then you go and you play it against your friends, and then that just motivates them to go spend more money. It's a vicious cycle.
It's bad. They know what they're doing.
They know what
Fantasy
they're
Flight knows what they're doing.
If you've not played Star Wars Destiny, essentially you can buy a starter pack, which was what we'd recommend, or the 2-player box set. Each side has cards. You can be the good guys. You can be the bad guys. You build your deck up to 30 cards. You select your characters up to 30 points. You put them out there. Each of the characters has their own dice. Some of the upgrades have dice. Some of the support vehicles have dice. There's a lot of dice, a lot of cards.
Lots of chunky dice.
They're fat dice.
They're good.
Why
They're
they-
so good.
I don't know if I like them.
What? No, they feel so good.
I don't know if I like my dice thick.
I like to have them rattling around in my hand.
They're just not, and they're rounded. They're slightly rounded.
I like that.
I don't know if I like that.
What do you want? The sharp points?
I like my darsh. I like my dice. I like my dice sharp. And some of the art's weird. It like mixes some of I want to almost said anime, but the cartoon show in with some of the art. And this doesn't match to me. But nobody's playing the game for the art.
Well, yeah, that's true. We could dissect it, but nobody cares.
Dissect it.
Good one. For more jokes like that, tune into Board Game Snobs for dad jokes.
Those aren't dad jokes.
It's a pun. Puns are pretty much dad
Although
jokes.
I am a dad. I have 4 children.
Do you know how to find Will Smith in the snow?
I don't.
Look for Fresh Prince.
Are you referring to the 90s TV sitcom Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yes.
Mm.
At the same time, Prince in the snow, thus being a dual meaning, thus being hilarious if you tell it to the right person. and
I'm
they receive
laughing inwardly.
it. I can tell.
Inwardly.
I can tell.
But back to Star Wars Destiny. I enjoy it, and I don't like paying money for it because I've paid a lot of money to play this game that it should just.
ain't paid. What have you paid?
I don't know.
You've only got how many packs?
I have 1 kidney. I sold it and bought an Empire War booster pack.
Jerry's pretty good at it. We've played it, I think, 6 times now, and I've beat him twice.
The first time
The
he
first,
cheated.
the first time I didn't really tell him the complete rules about if you run out of cards, then I win.
And yeah, mind you that I have like no good cards. I have no good cards. I don't even have a starter pack. I just went and bought some booster packs and put together my ragtag group of Hux, General Hux.
General, that's like the lamest one on Awakenings.
General Hux is
No,
pretty.
wait. Was he Awakenings or Rogue One?
He's Awakenings.
That's right. He's the one that's like Kylo's
He's Kylo's buddy.
superior.
He's Kylo. He's the general. He's leading the First Order. The character. All right. Side note here: General Hux, not really good in Star Wars Destiny. He's okay in the shows, but the actor Dromhole Gleeson, he's from Ireland.
Oh, well,
That's-
he's from Caledonia.
He is. He is a Caledonian, and he's a really good actor.
Oh, really?
I like him.
I've never seen him in anything else.
He's on Black Mirror. He's also in The Reverend, which there's a bear attack in that, I hear.
A what?
The Reverend.
Revenant.
Okay.
Revenant.
Words.
With Leo DiCaprio?
With Leo DiCaprio? Yes,
That's
with him.
the Revenant.
Oh, yeah, well, he's in that.
Yeah.
And he's in that one show where the guy gets
So
captured.
basically everything that's like rated R.
He gets captured by the Japanese. The one guy that got captured by the Japanese.
Oh, the
Unbreakable.
Angelina Jolie
no,
movie.
no, not
She directed it.
Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
Really? Tomb Raider?
See, this is why I have a podcast called Disagreeable Nerd, because I know TV and movies.
If only you knew as much about board game distribution. Anyway, Star Wars Destiny.
I beat you at Caledonia. I beat you at Destiny today.
Don't buy Star Wars Destiny.
No.
It will own you.
It's well, it's just like they say about everything else like this. It's like crack cocaine. Not that I know anything about crack cocaine.
They make that in Caledonia.
It's one of the import-exports.
Yes. Well, I have no idea what we were importing into Caledonia, but I'm pretty sure it was weed and crack cocaine. We should have looked at it.
Here's our wheat, and here's some crack cocaine.
I
How
guarantee.
do you make crack cocaine?
I guarantee. Well, you just take regular cocaine and you crack it, don't you? I don't know. How would you add?
So it's like a piece of chalk, and you just crack it and snort
I'm
it?
wearing a sweater vest. Do you think I know how to make crack cocaine? It's 64
I'm sure I
degrees
could
outside.
Google it. I'm sure I could Google it.
Don't Google that. We have children listening to this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is a family show.
Crack cocaine.
This is a family show.
I wonder if the FBI will come hunt you down if you start Googling how to make crack cocaine.
Put the Google Chrome, put it in incognito, and they'll never know.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's it.
That's
you
it.
know, the people that Google Chrome are like, watch these idiots. Oh, yeah. No, nobody's watching. Go ahead and Google whatever you want.
Yeah.
Government knocking on your door the next second. We're watching you, government.
No,
Just kidding. We
vice
got way off course.
There is a designer out there right now.
We started off talking about Clans of Caledonia and ended up talking about Googling and making crack cocaine.
Well, don't
And stop.
buy Star Wars Destiny. It will own you.
It's just like, what's the one we've been playing the campaign Near and Far?
What?
No. I'm just saying it's silly, lighthearted fun, and it's pure fun. Is it deep? No. Although there is strategy. Like, you got to pick your deck, and you got to know what to play when to roll your dice, when to put those things into effect, and if you do it in the wrong order, you're dead.
You're dead. You know what else is dark and like crack cocaine? Actually, it's like Near and Far on crack cocaine. Hence, very depressing.
War of Mine.
This War of Mine, I have bought and
That
played.
War of Mine?
The other War of Mine.
Oh, that War of Mine.
I've played it.
And?
I did not like it.
What? Well, you're not saying what every other review I've heard said.
Well, no, there's some people out there not liking it. Like, I think the guy in the hat, he said that he
Tom Bassel?
Yeah, that guy.
Are we not naming his name now?
I couldn't think of his name. I blanked for a moment.
He who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named. Vassal. He gave it a decent review and said he didn't see that he would ever want to play it again, basically. I can't even recommend it. All right, you have your board, a bunch of cards, and...
I'm bored right now.
To save a long, drawn-out explanation of it, the mechanics don't really fit the game to me. You end up very randomly getting a bunch of stuff or not getting a bunch of stuff, and then randomly getting that stuff taken away. And the darkness of the game, which does not bother me, because you know I'm dark.
Like there's no lights?
Well, yes, the board is very dark, but I'm talking about dark, like in foreboding. What's the term?
Like BVS.
What's BVS?
Batman versus Superman?
Oh, I thought that was like a disease. When you say BVS, I'm sitting there thinking, don't say that. But no, it's just very
dark and rainy the whole time.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Apparently, it's dark and rainy, but this board game is themed on the siege of Sarajevo.
Oh, dark themes.
Dark themes. Much like Stranger Things.
I haven't seen it, so don't say nothing.
I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Thank you.
But I will spoil this War of Mine. Don't buy it. I just didn't enjoy it. Like I said, it's very random mechanically. The stories behind it are depressing. The game is long. Takes a long time to get through it. But what I wanted was a mature Near and Far. Some very light mechanics with some straightforward choices, perhaps, or with not. I mean, straightforward choices in terms of what you're doing with your little home base, but then going out into the world and having to make these hard decisions. And a lot of these decisions were either much like Near and Far, either You fail, you don't do anything, or you do this and follow up on it. And next thing you know, something heart-wrenching happens. Like you find a little dead kitten.
Oh.
And then you like later go back to check.
And have to eat that.
You have to eat the dead kitten. And then the mother comes looking for it. You look out the window and smell. This didn't happen in the game, but I'm writing this down for an expansion.
The dead kitten expansion.
The dead kitten expansion. Pets. The expansion for this Wars Pod. It's
time to start eating Rover.
Okay, just FYI, if any of this bothered you right now, then don't buy this War Pod because it is way worse than this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this war of mine, it wasn't for me.
This war of mine, not for me.
What else we want to talk about? Tesla versus Edison.
Tesla versus Edison. That we also played this
The War
week.
of Currents. We
that what
played
it's
that.
called?
That's what it's called. Because Tesla versus Edison was the main game. This was the downsized 2-player
I
game.
thought it was Tesla versus Edison duel.
I don't remember. The 2-player game of Tesla. Tesla? Am I saying that? Tesla.
Not Telsia, as you've been saying this whole time.
Well, I don't know of him because we removed him from the history books.
No, he's become very. You know, there's like a whole fleet of cars.
I knew about the cars because that was
in honor of him,
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk,
who's going to take us to Mars.
Shout out to Tesla.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Nikolai Tesla.
Nikolai.
Russian.
He's yes, I think. He's from Caledonia.
Caledonia. Oh, I can't do a Russian accent.
You can't even. No, don't be doing accents.
Can't do it.
No, don't do accents.
Red October. Dot Madonia. I can do Sean Connery's Russian accent.
Sean Connery's Russian accent. Anybody can do.
Oh my gosh.
Oops, sorry about that. Set that off.
Sean Connery's Russian accent.
Do it.
Orion, most things in here don't react well to bullets.
There you go. But no, the 2-player game, Tesla versus Edison.
You taught it to me very quickly, but then you kept saying, oh, and then there's this rule. Oh, then there's this rule. And then like that one scoring round, you're like, oh, I forgot about when you win the round, I also get this. I didn't like that too much.
Well, and that encapsulates everything I didn't like about the game. There were certain rules that were not that were easy to forget, but also, to me, kind of broke the game. It was, if you dominated in this one city, in this one region, you got the bonus. But then your opponent also got some smaller bonus. I didn't like that. It seemed like they were trying to balance out the game.
Yeah, it was like a catch-up type deal.
And then each character that you chose, whichever character you chose at the beginning of the game, had their own personal win condition. And I can't remember what your win condition is. I don't care. I just want to know, this is my objective. I want to go after it. I didn't like that. There were just 2 or 3 little things I didn't like. And when in a little game, you can't have 2 or 3 little things. In a big game, you can have 2 or 3 little things that you don't like. In a small game, one little thing breaks it. This game should have been distilled down even further, in my opinion.
Well,
and it's not as good as Hana Kanoji.
When we were playing it, I was enjoying myself, and until we got to that one rule, like after the scoring phase, after the first round, and you're like, oh yeah, you get this, and I had won the city or whatever, and then you're like, but then I also get this, but then I got the same thing because you won the other city. I just really didn't like that at all, but I was enjoying myself, and then you're like, no, I'm done. Yeah. I was like, because once you taught it to me, and I realized that the 4 or 5 or 6 different actions you can take, and you draw those cards that tell you your actions, your assistants give you these 2 actions you can do or whatever. I was into it. I was just chugging along. It's not super hard. It's kind of mindless, but I was enjoying myself. But was it great? No.
No. Hana Kanoji. That's great. That's the game.
I'm sure we're saying that right.
Hana Kanoji? I'm pretty sure I'm saying
Hana Makoji.
Hana Makoji.
Hana Makoji.
Well, whatever. That to me is a much better light 2-player game.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's lighter than Tesla versus Edison.
But no, it's not. No, it is not. You think so deeply when you're trying to figure out how to attract those geishas.
But you have, what, 4 actions to take?
But still, geishas.
What is a geisha anyway?
It's a Japanese woman that it's not a prostitute or anything funky like that, like you're thinking.
I simply asked.
No,
What
I could
is a
tell.
geisha?
Yeah, I could tell.
I said, what is a geisha
you,
anyway?
You are ignorant to the.
And then I simply asked you for you to enlighten me, not insult me.
I didn't mean to insult you, but I could tell you're over there. Everything I say, everything's bad.
Well, usually it is.
It's not bad. Geishas are no.
I believe in your review online, you wrote something.
I may have wrote.
I don't even know.
I don't even remember. I write things. And at times.
So what is a geisha? You have yet to answer me. You just said she's a woman. I know that much.
I forget.
You need to lower your mic.
I'll lower my mic if I want to. I have forgotten.
Are you looking it up right now?
Well, I'm trying. But I can't find anything else about geishas.
Have we talked about Hanamakoji?
No. But we love it. Hanamakoji.
Hanamakoji.
Buy it.
You have a deck of, let's see here. The back of the box is in Japanese, so I do not know what it says. Oh, there it is. You have a deck of 7 geisha cards, 21 item cards, 8 action tiles, 7 victory markers.
So what you're trying to do is trying to win the geisha's favor, and you do that by playing the item cards.
Why do I need to win a geisha's favor?
Who doesn't want to win a geisha's favor?
I don't know what a geisha is because you haven't answered me.
I'm not going to tell you. You have to discover the powers of the geisha for yourself.
Geisha, a geiko, or gaiji
Those
are
are the
traditional Japanese female entertainers who act as hostesses. And then they usually have various skills.
Right. It's kind of like when you're trying to attract the attention of the hostess at Chili's, so she'll come take your drink order. It's like, what if I'm really funny? Maybe she'll come over here and refill my Long Island iced tea.
Their skills include, if you're drinking Long Island iced tea, you're not funny, you're obnoxious. Their skills include performing various arts such as classical music, dance, games, and conversation. So you just like talking to them.
Oh, right.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Okay, now that I know what a geisha is, I can continue on in this game.
And you can try to attract their attention. And
I need me an entertainer.
Yes. And once you've attracted their attention, if you attract 4 geishas or a certain number of their... I think there's some...
11.
Yeah, there's some geishas that are worth more than others.
You can either get 4 geishas on your side,
or get 11 points worth of geishas.
Get 11 points worth of geishas.
And you win. You become the geisha master.
That doesn't sound right.
That doesn't either.
It doesn't.
All right, you're just going to have to take our word for it.
We don't know what we're talking about. We're ignorant to Japanese culture. But the game is about geishas and
it's wonderful.
Attracting them. So whatever that is involved, it's good.
You gift them things. You have these items. You're like, do you need this little umbrella?
Yeah.
What
this fan?
This fan. Ooh.
You come over to my side, and there's a little marker in the middle of the geisha card. It's like you move it to your side if you've attracted her, or the other person's side.
Just like winning women's favor by giving them things. That's not sexist. That's just like in real life. Oh yeah, haven't you noticed that there are a lot of things in board games that are wrong? That when you really think of them, it's like this is not socially quite right. But yet we still play it. Does that make us bad?
No.
Well, that conversation's over. I'm glad. Says the man who keeps after the geishas.
I mean,
who stole my favorite geisha by offering her a ukulele. She betrayed my love and went to your side.
Oh, well, she liked the uke. You got her.
That's not what that's called.
A ukulele?
You don't call it a uke. That's that animal like a deer that's in the... No, that's a yak. Never mind. Sorry. I have embarrassed myself once again.
Now, not knowing what a geisha is, I understand, but a yak you should know.
Yakety yak, don't come back.
It was me or you, and you did it.
Well, either way. Speaking about...
Hanamakoji.
Love it.
It's super simple, but yet there's a lot of thinking that goes into it because you're trying to constantly outwit the other person, and it is just a fantastic 2-player game.
You should buy it and try not to be offended by the theme if that theme offends you. But I'm not really sure there's anything to be offended by. So just take that with a grain of salt.
You got Hanamakoji 2-player game. Tesla versus Edison 2-player game. We've already ruled that out because Jerry doesn't like it. Cave versus Cave.
God.
13 Days.
It's okay.
Patchwork.
It's enjoyable, but I prefer Hanakanoji over it.
Okay, that's kind of what I was getting at. Kahuna with the bridges.
Nope.
I kind of like that
It's too simple.
Okay, so out of all those, Hanamakoji rules.
Hanakanoji and Onitama.
How about Shot and Totten?
Shot and Totten, no. Shot and Totten's nice, but it's not. It's too simple. Shot and Totten, no. Not in comparison. It goes Hanakanoji.
Hanamakoji.
Onitama.
Onitama, I've only played one time.
And ukuleles.
Interesting. I haven't played ukuleles.
The yak.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That would be the name of your band. Your ukulele band, the yak.
The yak?
Yeah.
Okay. No, those are not 2-player. Steam Torpedo, 2-player game.
Don't even talk to me about it.
Absolute 100% garbage. We could have. It's a 2-player game with a rule book like 3 pages long, but yet you literally cannot figure out how to play the game.
And the reason, well, no, it's not so much that, but that's the Steam Torpedo game is that it's spatial. It has a spatial aspect in it where you're moving things around, and it's too confusing for such a light game, and you just don't get out of it. Now, I will say, 2-player game, and I prefer it 2-player. Raptor's okay. I'm talking about an obscure game that will plays 3, plays actually 4.
Yeah. I know where you're going.
The King is Dead.
King is Dead.
If you don't know about Osprey Games' The King is Dead, I don't even know how to begin to describe it. Besides it being a somewhat area influence, area control, or you're moving cubes. And there's nothing I hate worse than just a game that just has cubes as its primary components. But The King is Dead is one of the sharpest and smartest games that was produced. I think it's 2015.
I don't know, but you showed it to me, and it blew my mind because the concept is super simple. You add a cube or move a cube or cubes, and you take one off the board. And whatever you take off the board is your investment.
Right. It is
so you're investing, but it's every time I can't even describe it because, okay, if you want to be invested in red, you have to remove red from the board, thereby weakening red's power.
Right. And so it is that mechanic and the fact that you only have 8 cards throughout the entire game. Mm-hmm. You can only take 8 moves the entire game, if I'm remembering correctly. And just like you said, you want to be heavily invested in the winning faction, but by getting invested in them, by taking influence from them, calling one of their people to your court, I believe is what it was called, you are actually weakening their position. If it was just a solid 2-player, if it is a solid 2-player game, but it plays better with 3, so never think of it as 2-player.
Yeah.
But The King is Dead at 3-player is probably one of the sharpest, short 3-player games I've ever played.
It amazes me how there's some games that have 1,000 bits and pieces and rules and thick rule books and everything.
And we don't like our rule books like we like our dice.
No, I like my rule books thin and to the point. But yet, King is Dead. It's either 8 or 10 cards. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's probably 8, but it doesn't matter. You have 8 moves. The entire game, you have 8 moves. It is a brain burner. It's amazing. It's an amazing game.
It's one of my favorite games. I mean, of all time.
Top 3.
No, it's not top 3. But to be realistic, what I've come to find is a lot of people, and I'm going to get on my soapbox briefly before we end. When you take your top 10, you tend to congregate all the games that have similar mechanics or are like each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, if you were just to ask me today off the top of your head, what's your top 10? Oh, yeah. Eclipse, Exodus, Forbidden Stars, Twilight Imperium. You take games that are all very similar in their theme and mechanics, and you meld them all together. If I really had to choose, quite frankly, my top games would not be ones of all the same mechanic. I'm going to have a variety, and The King is Dead would be in it because it is just that sharp.
It is.
That with being said, I think we've gone over our time limit today of what we're talking about in terms of our... Oh, we're going to BGG here in a week from now, from the time of this.
I hope this gets posted before then.
It will.
Do you know how to post yet?
No, I don't.
It's still up to our IT guy.
It's still up to our IT guy who is at home
Shout out to Bubba.
playing his ukulele. But no, we're going to go to BGG. We're going to go back. We're going to see if there's any hot games out that we want to play and interview.
Speaking of which,
yeah, go ahead.
I know you were finna end this, but
I'm about to finna end this.
Well, whatever. So at BGG, some games I had written down I want to play that I hope that are there. Alexander Pfister, Great Western Trail.
Yep, haven't played it.
Hadn't played it. Jerry just got the Longshanks expansion. I don't know what it is. Longsville. My goods.
Oh my goods. Oh yeah,
What
Revolt
is
in
it?
Longsdale. Longshanks.
It was
Yeah,
like
it's
Robin of Longshanks in the Robin Hood movie. Remember that with
Yeah,
Russell Crowe?
it was a solo expansion to Oh My Goods, which is an excellent little game.
He's in love with it.
I'm in love with the solo expansion. Revolt in
Alexander
Longsdale.
Pfister also. Okay, Jerry has yet to make up his mind on Mombasa, but I love Mombasa. It tickles my brain. You got 1,000 different ways to go. So Great Western Trail, we look forward to playing. I have written on here Solarius. I apparently watched a review on that and liked it, but I cannot for the life of me tell you what that's about right now.
I tell you what I want to play, and I want to play it, even though I've heard some poor reviews of it, and I know the component quality is going to suck, is The Expanse.
Well, yeah.
I want to play The Expanse so bad.
Question.
Yes.
Is that just because you like the TV show?
Yes.
Me too.
That's it, and that's what's going to get me is that I'm going to play the game, and the game might be good, it might not be good, but I want to play it, and plus it's Jeff Engelstein.
I've heard good things.
Okay,
And by hear good things, I mean I've listened to 2 reviews on it.
there you go. That's enough. I've heard good things.
Since we're a fan of Ryan
Lockett.
Near and Far. Okay, when I say a fan of Ryan Lockett, I'm a fan of Near and Far, his most recent game. Which I did not get the new Kickstarter Amber Mines to, which is supposed to be good with cooperative and solo mode in it. It also changes up the mines section.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
That's why it's called Amber Mines.
Oh, I see what you get. I thought it was like these yellow colored mines that they stand out in the street.
No, mines.
Oh, mines. Oh, y'all. I thought you were talking about the guys that don't talk.
Islebound. Anyway, all that Ryan Lockett.
Islebound.
We go off on tangents and I forget what we were talking about. Islebound.
Islebound?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, if that's what you want to say, I'll allow it.
Okay. I want to play
Islebound.
Islebound too.
Islebound. It's about ships. I think there's ships in it.
Yeah.
I remember a ship on the cover. Okay. One of the main ones I want to play, and it's probably as dry as you can get, but it's been referred to by John Gets Games.
You really like John, don't you?
I like John. You know why I like John? Okay, we're getting off of that.
No, tell me why you like John.
I like John because, much like us, in these games that have been deemed super popular, John was saying he don't like it.
He came out against Great Western Trail.
He did not. He's the only one I can think of that does not. He didn't crow about it like everybody else did.
What will happen when you like Great Western Trail?
John will be dead to me.
Hang in there, John. All right, what game was it?
A First Class.
Oh, yeah.
It's a train game without Ticket to Ride.
Without a train.
Without a train. It's just cards.
Ah, there's an idea.
But I've heard he likes it. I think.
And John's First Class.
John's First Class in my book, no pun included, I think liked it. But it doesn't matter. But Sam Healy liked it.
Who's Sam Healy? I say that sarcastically.
Why
I know
are you
who
so
Sam
mean-
Healy's
Why are
is.
you
Go
so
ahead.
mean to the Dice Tower?
I'm not mean to the Dice Tower.
You are mean.
I
to the
just
Dice
know
Tower.
that you
They are our brethren in gaming.
I just know that you have on a Dice Tower shirt, I'm pretty sure, right now.
Yeah.
And you
I've got
love
one.
the Dice Tower, and you used to always
Respect.
talk about the Dice
Respect as I
Tower.
pat my chest and throw a peace sign.
And I got tired of hearing about the Dice Tower.
I'm sorry. I beat you over the head with
I
Dice
cannot
Tower.
tell you how often I heard. Well, Tom
When
says,
me and Jerry met,
in a dark alley
when me and Jerry met,
when I was selling him Destiny cards. If you get that reference, you're cool.
Jerry was a shut up and sit down guy. I had never heard of shut up and sit down.
I love Shut Up and Sit Down.
I
Friends,
was
I love you.
I was a Dice Tower guy. Tom reviewed, like I was just looking up games and Tom was there. And I know we've talked about this before. But now that I know about Shut Up and Sit Down, and we've merged, me and Jerry, in our board gaming and our interests. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I just know that you used to talk about Tom all the time.
Yeah, but in more recent days,
Weeks gone by.
weeks gone by, I found that although I still love and respect the Dice Tower, my taste in games is definitely not the same as theirs.
Your taste in games goes like this. Tom says this game is excellent. We should buy it. A week later, after buying and playing said game,
This game sucks.
This game sucks.
Yeah, pretty
Back
much.
and forth. And I kept telling you, you don't have to listen. You find somebody
I
who
know.
has a similar
I know.
taste and listen to them.
However, Shut Up and Sit Down was not the answer.
No. My taste in Shut Up and Sit Down, I like their show, but I don't agree with their reviews.
Yeah.
There's a lot of their games that they like that I do not like, but I still watch their shows.
And we recommend that you watch these shows.
Shut Up and Sit Down recommends.
Make up your own mind.
Right. And just like I said, you listen to the reviews and you kind of get a consensus. And anytime a new game's coming out, I always, no pun included, The Secret Cabal, Dice Tower, Shut Up and Sit Down. John gets games.
Don't forget John.
I don't forget John. Drive Through Review. I like him.
Drive-Thru Review.
I like Rotto.
Dan King.
Dan King.
Board Game Geek.
Dan King. I
Not
met
Board
him.
Game Geek.
Dan King.
What's his name?
The Board Game Geek.
Is that him?
Dan King? Yeah.
I'm thinking about BoardGameGeek.com though.
No.
Game Boy. No. Is that his
He's
name?
Game Boy Geek.
Game Boy Geek.
It confuses me too
Yeah,
every
okay.
time. But anyways, like his reviews.
Toss in Board Game Snobs in the mix.
Right. We're not on the same. We're not on the same caliber quite yet. Not quite.
Two Joes recording on microphones plugged into a little.
Yeah. I have our $20 microphones against Tom Basil's $250,000 Kickstarter. We're winning. That's all right. But my point is that don't just listen to one reviewer. You listen to a bunch. And you kind of get people's consensus, and then you go from there. You don't just buy a game just because one person said.
Well, if you go by consensus, then why not just look on Board Game Geek, Jerry?
Because it's wrong. Because people
That's the
upvotes.
consensus.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not.
Well.
Okay, Mr. Pandemic Legacy.
Shoot me in the head.
There you go. There you go. You were the only person that didn't like Pandemic Legacy. Now, I will say that there's a lot of people out there, and I know because you like it. Scythe. I think Scythe is climbing the ranks. And it's up there. A lot of people don't like Scythe. There is a lot of people who've griped about Scythe.
And those people are entitled to their opinions, even though it's foolish.
Yes. But I enjoy Scythe, but I also see why somebody would miss out on it, where they don't particularly.
But really, the whole point of any of those people, Dice Tower, Rotto, whoever, Shut Up and Sit Down, there are personalities.
All right.
And you're attracted to their personalities, whoever that may be, and that draws you into the gaming hobby, which is the whole point of it, because it's a wonderful hobby. And that's why we're going to a convention dedicated to it in a couple of weeks, where we're just going to sit down and just play and play and play and play.
With that.
But no, wait, I'm not done. Also, I had, have you played Trajan?
Trajan?
Trajan.
Who? Oh, Stefan Feld? The
Yes.
36th best board game ever.
Kalis?
Now, that is one. I know that Kalis was Joel Eddy's favorite game for a long time. And so I've been wanting to play it because Joel has not stirred me wrong.
Through the Ages, we've discussed that on previous podcast. Yokohama?
It's Istanbul, right?
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I like Istanbul. I don't think I need another.
Lisboa?
Man. All right, I have a love-hate.
The Blue Box?
I have a love-hate relationship with Vito Lacerda. because Kanban.
You would love to love the games, but you hate them.
That's right. That's basically it. The Gallerus, I have not got to play it yet, but Kanban. I wanted to love Kanban so bad, but I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Super complicated.
Right.
So those are some of the games we hope they're in their library, as well as the others. But anyway, we'll be at BGG.
Hope to see you there. Not really.
The 3 people that have listened to our podcast, including me and Jerry, so that leaves one more person.
We know,
Bubba. Jerry Bubba.
we know you're out there, Daryl.
Okay, so we'll be there in a couple weeks. Hit us up if you want to. Maybe we'll have a shirt made by then.
I'm not making a shirt.
You're not?
No, I'll make our own custom ukuleles.
Oh my
We'll be
gosh.
the guys over there playing the ukulele.
I'm gonna make a shirt.
You make a shirt.
I'm gonna make a shirt.
Tune in next time when we go live from BGG, sort of live. It will be recorded and posted soon while we're there. So kind of like we're being live.
Semi-live.
Semi-live from BGG.
Yeah, let's announce that.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast. You have